Hello everyone, and welcome back to Arcanum. I'm your host, the Social Solipsist. I'm tired as fuck. It's just after 9 p.m. on a Monday. I intended to record this and several more episodes yesterday, but yesterday I instead accidentally played 9 hours of XCOM. So, yeah. As I think I've expressed prior, it's been an exhausting couple of weeks in my office, and today was no exception. I almost fell asleep at my desk. Like, as soon as I got home and got some tea, and I just sort of almost fell asleep at my desk, and that was at like 5. So, seeing as it's 4 hours later, that means I'm fully well equipped to take this on. Yeah, I'm also, like, mini sick. The stress sick it's not a good time. Anyway, I digress. You didn't come here to listen to that. Last time we left off, we had just arrived at the Wheel Clan's location, this wall of stone, and had our first encounter with, what's his name? Aranax? It's real fucking memorable. It doesn't even go in the notes. Good one. Okay. That's cool. Doesn't matter. It's fine. So one of you has the glasses I need. I believe it's Sog. Yep. Meanwhile, you know what? You can take that, right? No, we determined that that was stupid and not what it said on the tin. You know what? It's fine. It's whatever. You can also carry this and that and that. I don't even know why I'm carrying them anymore since they're apparently not valuable. I might look at switching out that charmed ring. I did talk about that at one point. And there's the good old baneful gauntlets. Okay, well, let's put these on and be astonished when nothing changes. How about now? Wow. Not a sound effect, nothing. Okay. Here we go. Time to save. For when I inevitably piss off the dwarves and they try and murder me. Probably successfully murder me if we're honest. Oh. Okay. I wasn't sure. I was trying to back up so that I could do this. Do this. Come on. Help me the fuck out here, game. Do me a solid. I want to be greeted courteously. Hello, dwarf guard. Hold, what business have you at the caverns of the Wheel Clan? Speak. I come with grave news. Tell the guard your story. I see. This is grave news indeed. You need to speak with King Thunderstone. His house is directly northeast of here, just through the center passage. Speak with him and he will know what to do. Wow, that's very abrupt. Not even, like, I know he's a no-name dwarf, but like, hello, let me tell you my life story, but not on screen, because that would be boring. And then he's just like, yeah, okay, go see the chief. Sure. Or king, rather. Kind of sloppy. I mean, I guess it's better than literally recounting our shit to some no-name dwarf and him just saying the same thing. Technically. Okay, thank you, I'll do that. What did he say, northeast? The fuck direction is northeast? These all look northeast to me. This is northeast to me. Which direction did you mean? No labels on any of that. I mean, whatever. Let's keep going. I'm pretty sure it's not this one, which is why I'm picking this one. Oh, Lord. Is this gonna be a total nightmare to navigate? Oops, sorry, I knocked the mic. Reaching for the space bar. This is not insubstantial in size. I guess it makes sense. It's a whole city. But also that's gonna make it kind of a nightmare to get through. And also I'm already remembering that I'm gonna run out of stamina. Okay, these are all just villagers and shopkeepers and things. Villager. Okay. So this door's unlocked. Yes, let's go further down. What could go wrong? Well, this looks like a time. Fortunately, this molten arachnid is courteous to me. Okay. I didn't realize this guy was still alive. Okay, boys, back upstairs. Speaking of which, we really could use a female presence in the party. For no other reason than to tell us to shut up once in a while. Or tell some people to shut up once in a while. Glaring at Magnus. This is a weird, dark... I steal your tobacco. No. I guess I talked to Sog, never mind. This is just a dark room. How do I even get in there? Maybe it's better if I don't. Okay. Let's go back upstairs before I get myself in trouble. Oh, there's the innkeeper. Okay, so this is like the main part of the town, it seems like. This is the barracks. Came in this way, right? Where's this door go to? Or for that matter, those ones. Where the hell are we now? Hold on. Of course nothing's labeled. Why would anything be labeled? Oh my god, it all looks the same. This looks like a dungeon. Except for that. Is that the main Maybe that's where we're trying to go? Oh, for a second I thought that was Magnus going way ahead for some reason. A little overeager. Alright, this is looking like where I probably need to be. Maybe I should put my sword away. Dwarven Royal Guard. Yeah, that sounds about right. Just gonna let me walk in, huh? I guess there are guards in there, but still. What the fuck is this? I feel like I don't want to... This is real sinister looking. I guess that's the throne room. That's actually pretty cool. It's at least unique. I'm not sure it makes sense. But it's something. Okay, dwarf noble. What do you have to say for yourself? Greetings, traveler. I'm sorry, I don't believe we've met. I'm Randver Thunderstone, son of Longhair Thunderstone. I stand as chieftain and king-in-waiting of all the dwarves, both over and under mountain, in the lands of Arcanum. Welcome to the caverns of the Wheel Clan. Pleasure to meet you, Randver. You need another vowel in there somewhere. Like Randover or Randover. Randver doesn't... It's not that common a noise. It doesn't roll off the tongue so nicely. Anyway. Maybe it works for dwarven tongues. A pleasure to meet you, Randver. I have a few questions. Of course, what do you need? You said you were king-in-waiting? Yes, my father is unavailable. My father is unavailable, and I rule in his stead. But I am not the true king, and I will not be so long as my father lives. I am only a king-in-waiting. I see. I am in need of your assistance. Of course, what do you need? I come with news of a most dire nature. Dire nature? Of what are you speaking? I have a tale to tell. Tell him what has happened. Randver is quite quiet for some time. I see, and you say you've been to the Isle of Despair to confirm the story of Goodmund Orbender. I was there, and I bring news of Thorvald Two-Stones. Thorvald, he's been gone quite a while. We'd been considering sending out a search party. I mean, it has been 100 years or so. Then again, Thorvald always was somewhat of a loner. What word have you concerning him? He's on the Isle of Despair. I already more or less said that. Thank you for making us aware. I'll send out a detachment as soon as possible. We'll bring him home. Glad to hear. One or two more things. Of course, what do you need? Need to find your father. He knows what's going on here. This is an old and dark business. Business of my father. And as I am his heir, it falls to me to make it right. But I do not... But I know not what to do. He told me so little. What happened to your father, Randver? Visibly shaken. My father, great and solid, long-haired Thunderstone, king of the dwarves. Do you know of him, stranger? The stories of his courage, of his strength, of his wisdom? My father, stone among stones. From out of the madness of the clan wars, he united us under one banner, under one king, through the sheer power of his will. Yeah, that's typically what they say about conquerors. The sheer power of his will. Yeah, we might as well ask. The clan wars? Yes, a sad time in our history. For 500 years, there was a rift among the dwarves. We built great machines of war and threw ourselves against one another, and entire clans were lost in the battles. A dark time, time of Loric's insanity. We speak very little of that time. Who was Loric? I've said we don't often speak of it. That's a conversation for another time, perhaps. Where is Longhair, Randiver? What happened to him? It broke his heart. That heavy, heavy stone heart. He who warred against Loric warred against Loric the Abjurer in the pass of Gorgoth, who in victory burned Loric alive, along with 10,000 of his dwarven followers. And this broke him like a child upon the stones of the world. Please, Randver, I need to know what has happened here. Randver calms himself. It is as the Orbender told you. My father permitted the banishment of his own people, by the elves. He watched them sent away, heard their cries, with hardness born of 100 generations of thunderstones. So where is he? My father came home, and upon his knees cried out for his lost foolish brethren. Tears of regret, stranger. Regret, shame, and sorrow. The cavern shook with his fury, shook at the impact of his hands upon bare stone. He tore the clothes from his body and set his bulk against the walls and the floors, and his sorrow was marked in blood. And then, I told you, he left us. Walked into the old caverns with nothing but Harrow, first axe of the Thunderstones. And with that weapon he disappeared, exiled by his own grief, and left the Wheel Clan. He's never returned. Ooh, these are... I hope I get to ask all of these. What did... no. Just in case. I'm very sorry. What do the elves have to do with this? The elves? It was they who demanded the banishment of the Black Mountain clan for their crimes. But as for the reasons, as I said, I know very little. My father never told me the details of his discussions with them. Only that what had been decided was necessary, and that the responsibility would be his. What crimes? What had the Black Mountain clan done? I already know the answer. Technology. Manipulation of natural force. The stone and gearworks that make men gods. This, our legacy, given into the hands of reckless children. And the disease has spread. And the cost, stranger. Oh, the bloody cost. What did the rest of the clans say? The other clans never knew that the elves were involved in the banishment. They were only told that the Black Mountain clan had been exiled, punished for their crimes. And my father was the only one present when their sentence was passed. And the elves who approached him, who were they? I have no idea, and I know not why my father felt it necessary to speak with them, nor to heed their demands. As king, my father never should have allowed them to interfere, but for some reason he allowed it. He's never spoken a word about it since. And what of Gilbert Bates? What role did he play? Bates. It was Bates who spread the technology and its disease. And who are we to blame him? Humans, cursed with brevity, lacking patience, lacking discernment. I've spent human lifetimes deciding on what type of stone to use in a mural, and look what they've done in only a few turns of the moon. And with this, these elves came to us. Speaking of punishments, missing a comma. I already know the answer to this. Why is this question here? It seems I'll have to speak with Longhair. Where is he? I told you, he exiled himself. Yeah, I know. I don't know why I'm asking this question. He walked into the dredge and has never returned. The dredge? What is it, and where can I find it? The dredge is an old system of caverns. A mine, actually, not far from here. The entrance is just beyond the entrance to these chambers and to the southeast. That's probably where I was before. There you will find a stone archway. Beyond that you will find the dredge, into which my father disappeared. What can I expect to find in this, dredge? Right now, it serves little purpose but to house an assortment of foul creatures. There are minecart tracks and an occasional storeroom. No one ventures there anymore, so I don't know anything beyond that. You must know where he is. Can I convince you to tell me? Why would you think that? If a dwarf wants to be alone, then a dwarf stays alone. You're his son and his heir. You'd have gone looking for him. And why? He left me here to rule a kingdom, and rule it I will. What sort of son would I be to, go running around the dark, looking for a father who doesn't care? Boy, these are some choices. And what has he left behind for you, Randver? For me, he has left a crumbling clan, its people confused and frightened at the changes in our world, hurt by the abandonment of their clan father and king. And it falls to me, to hold us together. This seems iffy. You're a Thunderstone. Start acting like one, for your father. Never speak of my family, my honor, or my father. I would as soon brain you as hear you say another foolish word. Your threats are empty, king-in-waiting. Don't push me. Threaten me again, stranger, and I swear by my name that your blood will flow. I call you out, Blunderstone. Prepare for death. Nope. We're not doing that. I want to back up and see. I don't like how they build their I don't like how they build their dialogue trees. They're very, I don't know. If it was a literal tree, it would be a very ugly tree. Lopsided and uneven. And not full. I don't know why he's still called Dwarf Noble. That just doesn't... It's lazy. I have a hard time believing they... Well, no. It is Troika. I can believe they would put this dialogue in here that has no positive end. Alright, let's try this the bad way, the aggressive way one more time. I didn't mean to click that. It was something about I'm confused. Why was your father so shamed? You can look more easily than I can. That's a complicated discussion, friend. A very long one, and I'm not sure you'd fully be able to understand. I believe my mental powers are up to the task. Perhaps you're correct. Fine. My father's reasons for leaving are tied up in ageless tradition. Truly, in his opinion, he had no option other than to leave his clan. He was only doing what he saw to be his only choice. You spoke of dwarven traditions. Of which do you speak? Perhaps tradition is the wrong word. Philosophy might be a better one, though we dwarves rarely consider ourselves philosophers. A philosophy, as most know it, infers a certain amount of subjective opinion, in particular open-mindedness towards other trains of thought. What? Yeah, you're not a philosopher. What the what? That's such babble. A philosophy, as most know it, infers a certain amount of subjective opinion and a particular open-mindedness towards other trains of thought. No, what? No, what? Fuck it. What I speak of is different. Are there no dwarf philosophers? There have been what you might consider philosophers. Do you remember before when I spoke of Lorek the Abjurer and the clan wars? Lorek was what you would call a philosopher. Unfortunately, his views were terribly, terribly skewed. Ask me about him later. I will. What were you talking about before? I'm talking about the stuff of dwarven souls, the tenets we live by, our moral fiber, though morality plays no part in it. Not morality as most know it. What I speak of, friend, is what is known as the stone and the shape. Continue, please. To be a dwarf, what does this mean? Our character is defined through the immovability, the solidity of stone. We dwarves see the soul not as something ephemeral or transient, but as rooted in this reality as the mountains from which we carve our homes. Do you understand? I mean, you're putting it pretty poorly, but I'd expect nothing less. Clearly, you're speaking... no, I think so, but could you explain a bit further? Take this mountain. The sight of him against the horizon can set our hearts afire, and with throaty and tear-choked cries we'll call greetings or farewell. But to live within him, feel him shifting and settling, cracking, veins full with blood of gold and silver. He is both hard and generous. You're really dancing around the innuendos here. And we rejoice in both because we are dwarves. Common dwarven tweet. Let me drink some water. I would desperately like to be drinking something alcoholic, but it's fucking Monday night and I gotta get up early and do more work. Common dwarven traits, yes. But is there more? Yes. I speak both metaphorically and literally. We are dwarves, and there is much about us that is like the stone. We feel no more at home than when it surrounds us, and it carries us to the roar of the great molten flows, or the slow whine of subterranean ocean rivers, or when all is quiet, mountain whispers so steeped in age that even the stars were young when they were first spoken. You're not a poet, man. That's some real busted prose there. And so, to understand this is to understand a part of what makes us dwarves. These loves are immovable and unchangeable, and so we are like the stone. Well, Magnus, do you have something to say? I see, but what of the shape? The shape is what forms us, what defines our being and our purpose, and what the things we say and do. As there are many types of stone, so there are as many shapes. Granite for bricks, and shale for oil stones, and marble for statues, and crystal for the fragile and the precise. Elaborate a little further, please. How can I make this more clear for you? Stone yields what is already within, and so we as dwarves look within and see what it is we are to become. Wait, is it the shape that defines what the stone becomes? This is the most important concept. One cannot exist without the other. To a certain degree, shape does define what the stone becomes. Flint makes a good striking stick, but the reverse is just as true. You can't make a good striking stick without flint. Shape arises from stone, but stone is dependent upon shape. Do you understand? Oh my god, yes, I get it. I want to make sure I understand this. It is perhaps stated most simply in this way: as slate will flake and crack under the sculptor's chisel, so will a dwarf who knows not his purpose, knows not his shape. Jesus Christ. This was okay, and then it quickly got bad. I understand. Interesting. So in terms of your father. My father left us because he felt he had betrayed both his stone and his shape. He felt that allowing the elves to banish his brethren was a betrayal of his stone. The same act was also a betrayal of his shape, being king of the dwarves. Without either, he was empty. And what is your opinion, Randver? Was it betrayal? There are times, my friend, when the choices we are forced to make cannot be true to both the shape and the stone. I have thought long and hard on the issue. I have not the answers. But I know my father is a dwarf among dwarves. There is a saying among us: weigh your own stone. It is not for me to decide. Thank you, Randver. I feel I better understand your father. No, thank you, my friend. Few are the outlanders who would even care to ask. It is good that we've shared these things with you today. Can we continue our previous discussion? Certainly. Where were we? Well, that's my only option. That's interesting. So I guess that's... I swear when I had this option further back in the dialogue, I had the option to back away from it. You're his son. I'd assume you'd have gone looking for him. There's too many contractions in there. It's just a jumble of syllables. I'd assume you'd have, or you'd have. It just don't contract the you'd. I'd assume you would have gone looking for him. It rolls better. And why? He left me here to rule a kingdom, and rule it I will. What sort of son would I be to, go running around in the dark, looking for a father who doesn't care? Fuck, am I gonna... That's a lot of dialogue to redo, but I guess I can click through it pretty fast. Your anger is hollow. You need not protect him from me. Sigh. You see more than most, my friend. You're correct. I hold no animosity towards my father. My heart breaks every day that he is gone. I seek the truth. I think your father would want that as well. I believe you, stranger. I truly do. I just might be able to point you in the right direction. Any help you'd give would be appreciated. I must admit it. You're correct. I do see him almost every day, although he says very little. He lives deep within the dredge, but I have a hidden passage through which I travel, and within it you will encounter no trouble. Just enter here. There's a secret passage under the throne. I trust you, stranger. Find your answers. Do what is right. I pray he will tell you what you need to know. I'll most certainly try. Thank you for your help, Randver. Well, that was worth doing. It's unbelievably easy. It's so weird because, like, this game has such a focus... Sorry, I bumped the mic again. This game has such a focus on your stats and your skills and, like, your build. And yet, the plot... I mean, to some extent it makes sense, but it's sort of fucked up. The plot and the dialogue choices that you make... It's like the trees all, like I was saying before, the dialogue tree's all fucked up. So, like, I don't think that was, that was probably not at all contingent upon anything other than his reaction to me. So, like you saw me miss it miss that like I went a different way in the dialogue tree the first time, and it never would have looped back. It never looped back. I don't know. It's pretty fucked up. I mean, I'm glad I'm reloading to, you know, check these things, but like, it's a kind of a structural failure. Anyway, next time on Arcanum, I guess we'll go see the old king.